I'm already getting emails and messages in my YouTube. Girls saying, Todd, you better not put out that video. And they said they're gonna be forwarding it to those feminist groups, that organization of lesbians who get mad every time a man says something negative about a bitch. Go ahead. Fuck you. I'm put out twice as many videos now. Keep talking your talk. More you talk, more videos I'm put out. You bitches going out of business. You hosts ain't gonna have no business. Okay, so anyways, I just want to bring that up before I get into my course of hoe busting. I got like my friends messaging me too. First off, this is a course, and yes, there will be field trips. I ain't gonna be like bitch slapping a hoe every video. I'm trying to school you guys on how to approach and handle hoes, and actually kind of domesticate one if and all possible. Every hoe, every bitch, they insecure. Okay, they don't like themselves. If they did, they won't be doing what they doing. So, man, if in all possible, walk away from one without, being too disrespectful. You don't want to give a bitch a reason. Bitches and hoes, they always looking for a reason. Fuck that. Walk away. Never take a bitch serious. I'd much rather be wrong about misjudging a woman than wrong about misjudging a hoe and thinking she's a woman. If I write a woman off as being a hoe and she turns out to a woman, I'd much rather tell her sorry than be wrong about a hoe, because hoes and bitches, they ain't never gonna tell you sorry. You know what I mean? So never take any bitch serious or any hoe. Some things I like to use, and I think it'd be appropriate for you guys to use these same things as well. I like to go by the yellow and red card system. You know, like you ever watch soccer? If some guy goes and does something too violently or too abrupt that takes away from the sport, motherfucker catch a red card and he gone. And he gonna be thinking about that shit in the locker room. Same thing with the hoe. She straddle the line or push things too far, red card that bitch, she gone. Cause once she gone, she gonna be thinking about what she doing, and if she's smart, she won't do it again. If it's not that bad, I give them a yellow card. That's usually like a yellow card. Like, let's say we go in somewhere and the bitch just says something dumb that kind of pisses me off. I pull over, tell her, get the fuck out of my car. That's a yellow card. 2 yellow cards equal a red card. That's a temporary suspension or an indefinite suspension, meaning, bitch, don't fucking talk to me no more. If you go past 3 fucking red cards, that's your fault. Anything that happens, you did it to yourself, man. Don't let it go past that. Because after 3 red cards, your nuts is somewhere else. The reason you need to go by these rules is because most likely, like 99% of the time, she has been someone else's property, and depending on the extent of her hoedom is depending on how many men she's been with. Maybe she's been with like 5, 10 boyfriends, whatever. If she's been through that many men, she obviously isn't registering shit. And sometimes you need to explain shit to her if things go wrong in certain areas. Give her her fair share of acknowledgement to her holistic behavior. And if she don't let that do a couple spins in her head and fix what she is doing at the time or has done, then you eventually gotta let the bitch go. But if she is starting to catch on and you see progress in this bitch, then you can eventually graduate her to a woman and take her out of all that bitchy and hoey shit. I got people saying, damn, Todd, are you anti-females? No, I give every female that I run into a chance that I'm interested in. But if I'm not liking what I'm seeing or hearing, they eventually gotta go. And I'm trying to teach my friends that. And if you ain't one of my friends and you watching this video, you probably ain't gonna fucking understand. Okay, I'm talking to my friends. I ain't gotta explain shit to you. Ever wonder why you hear the term wise man and you never hear the term wise woman? Because when you dealing with a bitch, she running on emotion all the time. Look at all these hoes. Every night, every fucking day. Hollywood, Santa Monica, Huntington Beach. Bitches is running on emotion. Their emotion is insecurity. They don't like themselves. So to improve their emotions about themselves, they go out and drink and they want guys to flirt with them and make them feel pretty. Because that's how they learn how to feel pretty. It's pretty twisted, but that's how they do it. And usually that's what they're looking for. They want to feel good about themselves. So they involve themselves in hoish behavior, which is anti-productive. It's anti-productive, but they never figure that shit out. So there ain't no such thing as a wise woman. And when you're dealing with a bitch, you need to know this. I mean, you can teach her some things, but you can't teach the bitch to reinvent the wheel. They won't know how to do it. And the reason there's wise men is because wise man can put aside his emotions to think sensibly, to think with common sense and figure shit out. That's a wise man for you. Being a professional about your emotions and putting shit aside so you can figure out how to deal with this shit. A bitch can't do that. That's why there's only wise men. And you could walk this earth many a times in circles, and you ain't gonna run into a wise bitch. I'll tell you that, and I'll bet money on it, and you better pay me when you get back. You ever heard that mathematical equation about bitches? They tell you how many guys they hooked up with, and you multiply it by 3. That's how many guys they hooked up with. That usually works. And if a guy tells you how many girls he hooked up with, usually divide that by 3. You gotta know that when you're coming at a bitch. You ain't never gonna find out the whole truth about a bitch. I mean, you got a better chance of uncovering every fucking dinosaur bone than uncovering every skeleton bone in that bitch's closet. And I can guarantee you that. And deal with it whether you like it or not. You ain't gonna make a bitch innocent again. You're only gonna be able to work with what she got. Okay, if you're lucky enough to land yourself a chick who's been untouched, a pristine woman, then consider yourself lucky, but you still play by the same rules. You just gotta know what you got. You got a bitch in mint condition compared to a bitch with 200,000 miles on that pussy. What men are so susceptible to doing is letting a bitch surprise them. First of all, when you talking to a bitch one-on-one, you the dominant force in this conversation because you're a man. That's just how it is. That's just how we made. And any question you ask her is going to seem more believable because it's just you and her. Okay, so like let's say if you said, hey, do you think my friend Freddie's attractive? She's gonna be like, no, Freddie, kind of weird looking. I'll never be attracted to Freddie. You take that in your head and you be like, damn, she sounded pretty convincing. But then that bitch get around her friends, and then her friends are like, dang, Todd, the friend Freddie is pretty cute. Yeah, you know what? He asked me that question the other day. But yeah, now that you mention it, because she's around her friends, and her friends are the dominant force. No bitch can think for herself. She got one brain, and she should think for one person, but it don't work like that. Her friends do the thinking for her. And if that situation were to come up, then she'd be like, she'd be more into Freddie. She'd be like, damn, all 5 of my friends said Freddie was cute. I'm kind of attracted to him now. But you see what I'm saying? You already got an answer, and you accept it as so. Bitch's mind's always changing, depending on who she around. That's why men get surprised. I'm not just talking about that kind of situation. It could be with anything. It could be with what kind of car she wants to buy, or what kind of shoes she wants to buy. Something this big, or something like this big. It don't matter. That's how they think. Don't go out thinking that bitch is gonna think for herself. Nah, that's what she got friends for. And if you ever heard that term, birds of a feather, they flock together and all that stuff, that's true. That just means hoes, they hang around each other. Stupid people, they hang around each other. You got to know that, okay? I ain't never seen a good woman hang around a bunch of different hoes. It's against the laws of the universe. It's not going to happen in any country. So you take that to the head and you think about that shit, and don't let any other bitch try and make you think otherwise, because that's a telltale sign. Okay, everybody, I just want to ask you guys for a little bit of favor. My friend Avery, his nuts is dating limbo right now. I don't, and he don't know when they're coming back. So if everybody could pray for Avery's nuts, or whatever religion you are, if you Irish, can you dance around Stonehenge a couple times for Avery's nuts? If you Buddhist, can you light a couple candles for Avery's nuts? It sucks, man, but hey, sometimes it happens. They'll come back. And when they come back stronger and better than ever. So until next time, keep your nuts in your pants, man, and stay home. Why are you gonna let your nuts be in some other bitch's lingerie drawer? That's fucking weird. They don't belong there. That's not natural. Keep your nuts in your pants, man. They belong there. Perfect temperature for them.